going to be talking about my first time going to jail. So, yeah. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share if you care. I hope you guys are all having a really good day. It's my Friday, so today we're on and poppin'. We're going to be talking about my first time going to jail. So yeah, this is a story time that I totally don't mind opening up and sharing, simply because it's something that I went through like a while back, and it happened so fast, it happened so quick, so unexpected. And I mean, shoot, like I feel like everyone. So yeah, we're just gonna jump right into the video and start telling the story. Before I start telling the story, I just want to say, like, this is simply for fun. Back when this happened, I definitely wasn't laughing, but it is definitely something to look back and laugh about now, simply because, like, I just couldn't believe it happened. Like, me in jail, going to jail, like, what do I look? So it happened again, like, it all happened like so fast, so unexpected. I'll tell you how it all went down. And yeah, so okay, let's just jump right. So before I start spilling the tea, I'm going to sip some tea. This is sweet tea in here. I love McDonald's sweet tea. I don't care what nobody says. This ponytail pissing me off. It's fucking with my background. It's fucking cheat, Gotta eat something. So it all started when I was on my way home from work. I was on my lunch break, and I was working at the call center at the time, and I had an hour lunch break. So usually when I get an hour, I take my ass home. I do like this whole thing, for an hour. Like, I go home, make a lunch, sit down, eat, chill, and then get back to it. On my way back to work, I take the highway to and from work every morning. So I'm on my way back to work, and sometimes I have a lead foot. Like, I'm not going to sit here and lie. Speeding limit. I was on the highway, and I was coming on the highway, and it was a motorcycle cop, and, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, the minute I saw him, I knew I was done. I was done when he saw me, because I looked at my meter on my car, and I definitely was going over the speeding limit by, like, 15, but he said 10, and I was like, okay, cool. So I was, like, irritated or whatever. So he pulls me over, and I'm like, fuck, like, I don't want to get another ticket. Like, this is great. Like, I'm getting another ticket. Like, I need to hurry up and get this ticket so I can get back to work. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I'm just sitting there, like, waiting. And then he comes back. So, you have a warrant out for your arrest, right? And I was like, my heart literally, like, sank into my ass, you guys. Like, I cannot explain to you the feeling that went into my mind. Like, I'm 21, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm going to jail, you know what I'm saying? Like, the minute he said that, I was like, oh my God, like, I'm going to jail. Like, that's the first thing that came to my head. And I'm like, okay, well, what for? And he was like, looks like you missed a court date. And I was like, court date? I was like, oh fuck. I was like, is it the one for Castle Rock? And he was like, yeah. I was like, a warrant out for your arrest. I was like, okay. So basically what happened was I basically got my court dates mixed up, and I just didn't think about it. I never went, never called, never thought about looking into it. So that happened. And that's completely my fault, you guys. Like, I was being completely irresponsible, and at the time there was so many other things, like, going on. This motherfucking fly. There was so many other things going on, like, to be honest with you, like, I forgot about it. Like, I just didn't think to do anything about me missing a court date. Like, that was completely my fault. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and, like, make any excuses other than I forgot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I forgot, and that's my fault. That I forgot. I just have to remember, like, that. I was like, okay, so what's gonna happen now? He was like, well, I'm gonna have to arrest you. He was like, you've never gone to jail before, like you don't have a record, like, so I need to tell you to take off your watch, your earrings, like your necklace. I got all my jewelry, my watch, and luckily I didn't have my nails done or anything like that. And he was like, you're gonna have to leave your car and your keys here. We're not gonna like pound it or anything, but you're gonna have to call someone to come get the car, otherwise we will have to. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, so I had to call my father to basically come and get my car at my grandmother's house, you know, while I was going to jail. And might I add, you guys, like, while I'm trying to like figure these arrangements out, I'm just sitting there thinking, like, what about my job? So I called my job. I called like 2 of my coworkers, sent them text messages, told them to tell my supervisor what was going on, and I was covered. I was good. I still had my job. I was like, thank God. So I got like my job part situation taken care of. And he asked me too, he was like, where are you coming from? I was like, I'm coming from my house. Like, I'm on my lunch break. I have to get back. My father called me back and was like, yeah, I can come and get the car. So one of the cops stayed with my car, and the other one, he puts me in the back seat. He's like, I'm not going to put handcuffs on you, but when you get to the station, you have to keep your hands behind your back so that, you know, it does look like, you know, you're wearing handcuffs or whatever. And I was like, okay, cool. So he wasn't being like too hard on me. Like, he understood that I was scared, and I was scared, and I cried, and I was sad. I was scared. And I got me in the back of the car, tells me to put my hands behind my back. So I do. And then he sits me in the back, and like on the drive there, I'm just like looking out the window, like thinking about my life. You know, I was like, well, this is my life. This is what is happening because I chose to be irresponsible and like forget something. And so I'm just thinking like how I can make things better, and like what I'm gonna do when I get out, and like how I'm gonna and we pull into this like garage. He does like a pin. The garage door opens, we pull into like a parking spot. He tells me to get out. We get out, and at first I'm in this like holding area where I don't see like any other like people who are in jail. I just see like cops behind this like glass door. It's like, I think where people like first bring them in and book them in. That's like booking in. And so they would keep like the females separate from the males who were being booked in. So like when guys came in, they told me to move, and I had to go and sit somewhere else and like stay there permanently. And the guys couldn't look at me, and I couldn't look at them. Like, it was very like A, B, and C. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like this is how it's gonna be, and if you do it any other way, you're gonna get in trouble. I've never went to jail. I've always heard about it. I've always seen it on TV, but I never went to jail. So back to the story. I am sitting there in the holding area, and they're like, okay, well, you know, booking is going to take a while, and the cop stayed with me the whole time while I was waiting to get booked. Once I got completely booked, he said, okay, just hold your head high. You're going to be out soon. Call who you need to when you get behind there, and you'll be fine. And I felt like I didn't want him to leave. Like, I was like, please don't just take me with you. I didn't say that, but in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, like, I cannot believe this is really happening. So next thing I know, I'm walking through the other side of the door, and Lord and behold, you know, I'm in jail. Like, there was, you know, the cells, numbers 1 through like 15, and they kept the guys separate from the girls, but they would put like 3 girls in one cell, 4 guys in one cell. Like, that's how they did it. And so surprisingly, I felt a little better when I saw the cell number I was going into. Nobody was in there with me for the first like 4 hours. It felt like I was in there forever. It felt like life stopped. Like, I was just like in there, sitting there, and I'm like, I'm really in jail. I was really like sitting in a cell, you know, like I couldn't believe that. Like, I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is ridiculous. So then this other girl, you know, she kind of starts telling me about her life. And might I add, you guys, like, this is like all a huge learning experience for me. It was also like an eye-opener for me. It was kind of like, it gave me a chance to kind of like see a different part of life, and like a different way of, I don't know, like the law and justice, and like why people say they hate jail, or why people say they hate cops. Like, I understand like why now, I guess, you know, like it wasn't a good place at all. I felt really uncomfortable. I didn't like it. I was actually really, really like sad, and I stayed in this corner in the back of my cell the whole time until we got let out to like go into like, there was like this area where chairs and like phones were, and a TV, but girls could only use these 2 phones, and then guys could use these like so 4. I had my phone, and then the other girl who was in that cell with me had her phone, and I'm making call after call after call, and my mom and everyone is like getting it all worked out. My bond was only like $150, so I was like, thank God. They got me a bail bondsman. They got it all worked out for me. So I was like just sitting there waiting for everything to go through basically, and they handed out snacks, and we got to sit down and eat the snacks and watch TV. And I just hated being in that cell. Like I almost like loved, I had like this love and like appreciation every time like they let us out. Like it was crazy. I was like, oh my God, thank God, like I'm out again. Like I can go make a call again. I can hear my mom's voice again. Like all these things that like I basically take for granted. I was so like excited to like hear and do these like the most simple things, you know. And it was a huge like eye opener. So after I made the phone call to my mother and my uncles and my brothers and my grandmother, they were like, we're getting it all situated. So then I sat down and ate my snacks, and then you know, there was and it was just me and the other girl in cell 7. There was this other girl who joined our cell, so there was 3 of us in cell 7, and this other girl next to us in her own cell. And she came walking out by herself with no one out there, got to make phone calls and ate. And I said, why did they let her do that? And the female who had just came in, she's been in jail before, so she was like teaching me the ropes, like telling me things. And she was like, well, basically the girl in like the all white, like she's like considered suicidal. That's why she doesn't have like her clothes on and stuff. That's why they gave her like that, because like she could use her clothes to harm herself and things like that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like she was like, I don't know what she got arrested for, but that's what they wear when they're suicidal, or they say they're gonna harm themselves. They put them in that. And I was like, oh, okay. And so then she was telling me about people who help. There's like people who are in like certain like color jumpsuits who you'll see like cleaning around the jail, and I guess they're like people who like are good while they're doing time in there, and they get like more freedom, so they get to like have like better food, they get to like have more time out of their cell, they get to like clean, they get to do things around the jail more, so they're not like, you know, bored all the time. So I just felt like I was in a fucking felt like I was in a goddamn movie. I was like, this is life right now for me. Like I cannot believe this. Like and like it still kind of like gives me chills just thinking about it, because those 2 women that I was in my cell with, they were both going through their own demons and struggles, and I felt for them. I don't want to say I pitied them, you know what I'm saying, because they're strong, and I know and I hope that they got through with whatever they did. I haven't spoken to them, of course, since I got out. I was only in there for like a night, but like God bless them. They kept me comfortable and company, and they taught me and talked to me. They didn't make me feel weird when they got in there and things like that. So when we were allowed to get out of our cell one last time, by then I was so hungry, but we couldn't have anything else to eat. And I called and I was like, how much longer, Mom? And by then it was like 1 a.m. And I was like, I have work tomorrow, like how much longer? And she was like, only like it should only be like an hour now. And it really was only an hour. It was like 2 a.m, and I was just asking, my mom told me to go up to the counter and ask the police about how long my bond would be. I wasn't rude. Okay. And I went up and there was this, you know, my bond went through. She was like, this is your 2nd time coming up here and asking that. We don't need you to ask again. I was like, I'm asking a question. I was like, I haven't been rude or anything all night. And then she was like, she yelled at me. She was like, go back to your fucking cell. Just go back to your cell. Like, I mean, his eyes like got kind of big. So I went back to my cell. They all knew, like all those cops up there knew that it was my first time in jail. So that's why I was like, bitch, fuck you for talking to me like that. Like, I don't know the ropes. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm up here asking you. Like, this is your job to tell me that. Like, don't be a bitch to me. And like, honestly, like, I don't know what your problem is, and I'm sorry you're working a late shift, but like, this is the job you chose to do. So like, I'm in here, like, and yeah, I'm in here for my own reasons and my own mistakes, but like, can you just answer my fucking question? Like, I'm scared and I just want to know when my bond's going through. Like, that's really like what I wanted to say to her, you know? And like, it just sucked to be talked to that way. Like, even now I still get kind of like stupid emotional about it, because like I really wanted to cuss that bitch out. And like, for people who really, really know me, I am not the one play that shit. Like, you don't talk to me out of character or crazy, because I'll give you crazy. I'll give you out of character. I'll make you wish you never talked to me crazy. You know, so, I've were like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine, but fuck that stupid bitch. Like, I was just going off for a minute, you know, like I had to let it out somehow. And, so I did. I let it out, and it is what it is. Moving on. It was an intense experience. Part of the world to see, because there's a lot of people in jail, there's a lot of people in prison, there's a lot of people who are still there, there's a lot of people who are there for life, who are in prison for life, who are in and out of jail their whole lives, who go through things to where they're in jail. And I think God was like, you know, I don't want to do this, but this is something that you're going to go through, just so that you can, you know, just be a little bit more humble and understand that, you know, sometimes things happen and for different reasons. And you know, it was definitely to teach me to be more responsible, for sure. And it was for sure to I think to help me appreciate and value more things in my life. I always try to value people and things in my life, but sometimes I can be shallow like any other person. I can be shallow, and I can be mean, and I can be selfish, you know. Sometimes I put my guard up, and I think that my experience in jail was really intense, and it was an eye-opening experience. So by the time I was able to get bailed out, they called my name, and it was like 1:45 in the morning, and I was able to go get my shoes. I had on my red Nikes. Oh, I was so happy when I saw my Nikes, and I got my jacket back, like, and it was a really good good time for me to get my stuff back. Once I got my stuff back, they gave me my paperwork, said all this bullshit. I had to sign a paper, got put through this door, and then I got put through the other door, and, you know, saw my ride right there, and I went and never looked back. And on my ride home, coming home from, you know, jail, I just thought about it. I thought about it a lot, and I told myself that I would never let anything like that happen again. And I haven't. And I paid all my fines. I got all my shit taken care of. I don't have any tickets. I don't have any warrants. And we're not going back there again. We're not doing any of that again. So that is the time that I went to jail. If I go to jail again, it'll probably be because I actually beat a bitch's ass. Because I really do have anger issues. That is another, you know, story timer video that I'll do one day. Like, you know, like a 10 things, like 10 more things you should know about me. And tell me what you guys think of this look. I know I look snatched. I wanted to make sure I did something super duper cute for y'all, you know. Came in clutch with the, you know, the Kardashian ponytail, like what? So yeah, like, just, if there's anything that I can leave with today's story time is, I didn't tell today's story time to, like, I don't know, highlight, like, oh my god, jail is so dope to go to. No, I highlighted it because it is supposed to be funny, and it is funny. Like, when you hear about someone like me going to jail, like, I told all my friends and people that I know, they laughed, and at the same time, they're like, are you okay? You know, because it's like, they can't believe that I went to jail. Like, I'm a girly girl, I'm into makeup, I'm a model, like, I'm always trying to, like, achieve something, like, me going to jail, you know what I'm saying? But, like, yeah, it happened, and it can happen to anybody. Make sure you don't miss your fucking court dates, or you don't get in trouble for that matter. My dumbass missed my court date. I'm such an airhead sometimes, guys, but that's besides the point. And at the end of the day, if there's anything I can leave, is just, you know, learn from your mistakes and be more appreciative of the people in your life, because you don't know when you won't see them again, or how long it might take to hear from them again. Like, I just never thought I would be so appreciative of hearing my mom's voice and my grandmother's voice and my brother's voice, and until, you know, I heard their voice, and it was like, oh my gosh, you know, it was like a whole new world. And so yeah, that was my story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys learned something or took something from this. And if you didn't, I hope it was entertaining for you. If you're new, thank you so much for you subscribe, like, comment, and share if you fucking care, okay? Make sure you guys leave comments below, suggestions on next video. We're doing clothing hauls the next 2 videos, and then we'll have a makeup tutorial again soon. I'm trying to do some really dope eye looks, you know. I'm trying to like come in with like the dopest of the dopest. We ain't doing no simple shit around here. Today though, I did this like brown smoky eye. I'll be posting this whole look on my Instagram as well as my makeup page, so make sure you guys are following me both there. I'll leave, you know, all my like social media handles like below. And I just wanted to do like a quick shout out to like my followers, my subscribers, the people who like stick it out with me. I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you guys. I want to create content for you guys, and because this is something I love to do. This is a hobby that I enjoy. And I continue to grow with my little family of mine. So the Tijin Fam Bam. I hope you guys are all having a lovely, lovely Friday. And just stay tuned for the next 2 videos. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's story time on the first time I went to jail. Ciao, love bugs.